I watched Chris over the last year and a half of his life headed down a path that I don't think that he could have changed even if he wanted to.
Every one of my friends that's gone to America in our profession has either come back in a box, in a wheelchair, or they've come back drug addicts.
You see things like this and you say, guys, some guys are not thinking right in life, are they?
These are gang hieroglyphics, and I think...
Probably drugs involved.
Yeah, when you can decide at a young age, you have a goal. You know, my goal in life is to be up here and not always down here.
And drugs don't help you become successful.
Absolutely not.
Chris Adams is an addict.
I would just like to say that I thought Chris Adams was a great guy.
He was disgusting whenever he wanted to be, just for a laugh.
His name fit him perfect, the gentleman. When he wasn't sober, he'd been drinking, doing a few different substances.
He was a great guy, he really was.
Lights were on in this house and the living room was full of police.
Found lots of prescription drugs, Valium, pain pills, Xanax.
If he put his mind to something, that he was going to make it, he was going to be famous.
He had a magnetic personality. Everyone that met him liked him, really. It wasn't just the British accent. The girls loved that.
I loved Chris Adams. Oh gosh, the second I seen him, I was like, oh, and his accent's just like totally.
There were tremendous bouts, throwing 40,000 or more at Texas Stadium, filling the Cotton Bowl. It was an era of just unbelievable excitement, and Chris Adams was a major factor in that because of his super kick and all the other things that he could do.
We'd go book into a hotel, go to a gym, work out, and then rest a little. Then we'd wrestle, and then after we'd wrestle, we'd go and party, and then we'd do the same the next day, and then the same the next day, and the next day.
Then there was an incident on an airplane that changed Chris's entire life.
The confrontation with Chris actually came when they decided he had had enough to drink and they tried to cut him off, no more drinking.
His eyes would kind of bug out and he'd get red in the face and you could see blood veins and vessels on his head and he would just look like he was going to explode.
And the psychiatrist said that he was clinically depressed.
He had stomped a desk clerk's face in really bad. He had to get craniofacial reconstructive surgery.
Chris couldn't just have one drink. He had to drink till it was all gone.
Whether it was wrestling, partying, whatever he didn't stop low level. He went all the way to the top.
These type of people gravitate to stars and they supply drugs, they supply alcohol, they supply prostitutes.
And then Chris had told me he started trying a drug called GHB.
With G in the clubs, in the strip joints, and we've seen so many of these guys that they end up dying or they end up killing somebody by accident.
Yeah, he loved it. He loved it.
When you're constantly putting these substances in yourself, you know, you're going to do crazy, stupid things.
Chris fell in love with a beautiful blonde-headed girl by the name of Linda Compense.
Some friends of mine that had known her, I guess dated her for a little while off and on, they found out she was working at a strip club.
I said, well, I'll sit here and watch and see, you know, if there's going to be a problem. And there was a problem.
I can't believe that you're saying this, that he murdered her.
The phone rang and it was Chris, and Chris was just screaming.
He made it his business to cut our legs out right from under us.
Now, if you don't stay out of my business and quit messing with me, you're gonna end up just like Linda.
And this detective became very interested in this recording.
Mr. Chris Adams was indicted on one count of manslaughter.
And people do get the wrong idea, like that we're girl chasing wrestling stars or we're good time chasing wrestling stars or whatever, but over the last few years, a reality has set in, and I really believe that life is all about our children, it's all about our family.
He was always
talking about wanting to change for the better, wanting to quit drinking and wanting to live right and just live for the family. I saw more of that after he became a Christian.
And I reached my hand up towards him and just said Jesus, and the power of God picked that man up and threw him against the wall. He got up and shook his head. He said, "What was that?" And I said, "It was the love of God." And come on now.
Nobody would work him wrestling. The other thing was he owed the IRS in excess of $50,000 or $60,000.
He was feeling really, really depressed, and I could feel, there was something wrong. And he goes, "Hey, Lori," I need to borrow $20. I need to borrow $20.
He just kept getting stronger, and that's when I knew it was me or him.